Hey, I found him. I'm a fan.
I don't know what to say. I really shouldn't care at this point. The product is well gone. It's been gone for about 2 decades now. But you do have to wonder how low things can get. The newest atrocity from the once beloved SpongeBob franchise, a franchise with episodes about removing a splinter, literal murder attempts, and something YouTube doesn't permit discussing. If you're watching this, you probably know what it is. But despite all that, this is somehow a contender for the worst thing they've shit out. For anybody who's wondering, this is not a 4th movie. It's some kind of spin-off thing. Maybe they're gonna make one for every character, who knows? I don't care to look into it. But if this is the level of effort they put in, the literal definition of not giving a shit, then yeah, that's probably the idea. The plot of this nonsense is an evil CEO from Texas snags up Bikini Bottom for reasons, leaving SpongeBob and Sandy behind to save them using various plot devices even too stupid for a cartoon, and along the way we're given a bullshit backstory that we knew wasn't a thing until last week. I considered ignoring this completely. I assumed it'd be the same thing as the last movie, but it's so dumb, it's so in your face, who gives a fuck, kids will watch it. I simply couldn't leave it. No, we're going to break down this fucking shit and analyze what it looks like when you milk a cow way beyond its death.
Good morning, Bikini Bottom!
Go get him, Sandy! I'm trying to sleep.
I'm going to assume this is going to be a thing for all these movies. The character in question imitates SpongeBob for some reason, people react, and we'll have a song about them in which everybody joins in, because actually resembling the show is not the idea. We had the same issue with the last movie. It feels nothing like the show it's based on. It's possible she's just imagining it, but again, it's not a musical, so it feels out of place. It's also kind of lazily written.
There ain't no denying I love doing science every day.
And as you probably noticed immediately, the CGI isn't that good. Why we need CGI, I don't know. I've never heard anybody say, I'm glad the last movie was like that. But if you can't even make it look good, don't fucking do it. I'm honestly not somebody to complain about this, but it's noticeable. It's noticeably bad. A big scoop shows up, in which I'll give the movie the only credit it's ever getting. It actually looks cool. It's kind of scary in some ways. Along with the clever reference, there's a lot of comedic bits.
What's going on out here?
Careful! What's all the darn noise? I said careful! My leg!
And it would seem all the effort they put into this movie went into this scene. It's followed up with stupid shit like this.
Boots? I thought you made science. You think you know a person?
And after confirming it was the lab from Texas she previously worked for, we get to listen to SpongeBob cry for a solid minute, because that was just a banger of an episode. They head to Texas, using one plot device after another. On the way, nothing remotely funny happens, but at least this time they didn't forget the fucking helmet.
There it is, Boots Lab!
Oh good, it's a short movie. I didn't really expect an hour and a half. Oh, fuck my life. Yeah, despite mainly consisting of stupid shit, this does kind of drag. And I don't know how that is. You want proof they really don't give a shit? They provided a reason how he can be above water, thought something up, and are now relying on normal water from a cactus. Did they just forget? The others provide no comedy either. It's kind of sad that even Clancy Brown could look at this and say, that sounds good. But we then meet the true stars of the movie, Phoebe and Kyle. They can be summed up with lines like this.
Not since I ate half my lab coat.
And could you please stop using my DVD drive to heat toaster pastries?
And speaking of looking at this and saying that sounds good,
You see her swimming and get. She makes waves. Taking the bait. She's a real big fish, and you caught in her wake. She makes
I don't
waves.
know. So, if you don't know, that's Wanda Sykes, who, at the very least, has a voice you probably know. She's known for a number of things, is by no means a nobody, so how did this happen? How did this offer go? It's not quite as perplexing as David Bowie appearing in the actual musical special and being the only person to not sing, but how do you agree to be in something when this is your intro? And no, this does not make it a musical. The song gets cut off almost immediately. Clearly a bad joke, and she has a pet CGI fish because why not? But it wouldn't be a Nickelodeon movie without pulling something out of their ass. Last movie had the Camp Corral nonsense, and with this, upon being attacked by rattlesnakes, which do not make the whole body inflate if you're bit, that's more of an allergy thing, but she ends up having to contact her family, who are part of a traveling circus.
Shakes! Assemble!
Again, one of them's voiced by Craig Robertson. Too noteworthy for this. They got Johnny Knoxville, who was co-creator of Jackass. Do you have no shame? And you can see where it's going. They didn't just decide to make them that way. No, the time has come for the pointless backstory. I mean, first they have to attempt to leave and go their own way, not realizing what's going on because time waste. But after that's settled, we find out she was part of a circus and gave it up to be a scientist because that's what happened. You do realize karate was a thing too, played a big part in the show, but no, circus. That makes the most sense. It just fits in so well. And then, this is said.
She can do whatever she wants in her life, as long as it's right here in Texas.
And that was completely pointless. There's never any mention of going back to Texas. There's no confrontation. This won't be brought up again. It's just random shit. Come to think of it, it would be a good title. Speaking of random shit, Plankton mentions some kind of plan, but it's also not mentioned again. We do find out their plan, Project Sea Pals, which is presented for no reason but plot purposes. It's to feed them genetic modification paste, alter them to breathe air, clone them, and sell them to kids because fish are cute and you can't cuddle with them.
That's fucking stupid!
Okay, looking into Wanda's recent filmography, she hasn't been in too many popular movies of late, but she was in a successful documentary, and that's enough for me to say...
Wait, no. Here, no, this way. Yes.
What the fuck? I don't care if you're as washed up as Steven Seagal, as hated as Amber Heard, nobody, I mean nobody, should drop this low. Which reminds me, could you please like the video? It's right down there. You know, it's right down there, please. And subscribing, the subscribe button, is also down there. Right down there. Okay, so this one bit, I can't believe I'm gonna say this is kinda funny.
Hey, everybody! It's raining phase ones!
And I hope you enjoyed that, because now, oh, the real shit begins. Aside from saying there's good market research on pink, if you follow the show, you'll know why that's fucked up. They realize they can breathe air, and Squidward sings about it.
I don't know why.
Feel so strange. I feel so odd.
This is completely out of character. At least for a time like this. And again, it's cut off immediately, so it's still not a musical. Meanwhile, SpongeBob and Sandy finally make it there, after a high-speed chase that was not fun in the slightest. I like to point out, he's still fucking alive. It's his first time in water in some time, but they get inside and are captured immediately. We find out these two are her aforementioned friends, who have clearly existed all this time. And then this.
A little girl who loved fish. I mean, really loved fish.
No, they can't be implying that.
She wishes she could take them out of the water so she could cuddle and sleep with them.
Are they implying that? Never mind the way the flashback looks, the fact that this is basically her reasoning for doing this. I want to know what the fuck is being implied.
Swimming with swordfish in Saint-Tropez, oogling octopi in Orlando.
I didn't think we were watching South Park. We then find out she's a robot because she was probably trying to fuck piranhas. And we also find out she's been using Sandy to spy on Bikini Bottom because that's been going on throughout the series. You know, maybe it's just me, but I have this suspicion that that concept was not conceived until this movie. What do you think?
Welcome to the cloning popper, Spongy boy!
Are you void of any dignity? They clone SpongeBob because he's the most popular, but the dog knocks it over because reasons, ending the growth process, and they actually have the gall to say this.
Bikini Bottom is your home. It's got
Okay, you know what? That's fucking funny. That's fucking funny. So, Kyle and Phoebe become good to help her escape. She makes the robot dance to fill out the runtime, I guess. This is the climax, and we find out what the test audiences were forced to say.
Oh, I like this.
She gets eaten by a CGI fish. They put SpongeBob back together to contact the family to escape, using some contraption. If you care, you're fucking retarded. I do question what happened to the robot horse's ass. It looks buried to me. And the movie ends with another, or in this case, one of two stupid ass songs. So that was... I'm not even gonna dignify that title. Not really a whole lot left to say. It's self-explanatory, aside from the good old excuse being it's for kids, and you know what? That's not an excuse. It quit being one after the show became something adults clearly watch, and even though it did eventually get bad, real bad, it's still not the same level as simply not giving a shit. It's almost sad seeing what this iconic figure has become, how little effort was put in, and with fake reviews that deem this good to okay, there's no doubt they'll keep pumping out these things, giving more characters we once loved pointless backstories we know are complete bullshit. That's obviously the path going forward, and as long as they do something to make it suck even worse, you can bet that I'll be here to cover them as they shamelessly milk the aforementioned cow to death. Throw in the bad CGI because even that's not good, and if you want something so stupid it makes you keep watching to see how stupid it can get, then this might be for you. I'm the analyst, and remember kids, a rattlesnake bite is not a fucking allergy. So, you've made it to the end. That's an impressive feat indeed. Since you managed that, I guess check out the gaming channel, in which I cover a variety of gaming topics, like analysis videos, such as this one. If you're into that, then press the link in the description. It's that simple.